We are learning how we can touch and realize our real self because the real self is the source of permanent happiness, or we can say it is the source of biggest, infinite peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. We get limited peace and happiness by eating, by drinking, by on vacation, on buying a new clothes, now festival occasion, celebrating, we just celebrated Thanksgiving. But the mind is constantly seeking something bigger and bigger, higher than that is a blessing and that is a curse also. Blessing in a sense that we are not satisfied like animals. You give them the food, they are not seeking anything bigger and higher. But if we continue to seek happiness and peace in what is limited, how can I get the unlimited peace and happiness? Look at this point. Understand this is how the masters helps us to feed the path. We are seeking higher and higher. The mind is always seeking, let me have a bigger happiness. Let me have a larger, I'm using these words to make us understand larger, bigger, or unlimited peace and happiness. We never think how an unlimited object or a person can help me attain infinite peace and happiness. So we find, oh, I'm single, getting married, so I'll be happy forever. The dream shatters. Oh, this cloth, this shirt is very good. One day, second day, it is gone. So the human mind is basically a seeker of that unlimited, infinite peace and happiness. So if I don't seek what is infinite, I cannot attain permanent peace and happiness. Our masters say that real self is all pervading. It is infinite, source of peace and happiness. And it is within me. It is within my reach, provided I should I should understand and I should look for it. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. So there is a condition. If I'm seeking infinite peace and happiness, the master in this mantra says May the existence protect both of us, the seeker and the teacher. May the existent nourish us both together. We should have at a minimum level of comfort and ease to think, to contemplate, to reflect, and to continue the search. No, I have an agenda just after this meditation, and mind is constantly thinking about it. No, we don't need that kind of a mind or a mental state. That's another one. Sahvirya, may we work jointly together with a great energy, higher level of awareness and attention, so that there is nothing outside that disturbs and distracts our attention. After all, we are seeking infinite. And our study, our understanding, be vigorous and effective. The last point is very important. We should not be jealous against each other. Because if you look closely, energy, extraordinary awareness and attention, no distraction, minimum level of comfort should be there. Then this journey becomes successful. We should be aware of at the end of a seeker and at the end of a teacher also. We have many stories in our text, and many ways the master, when the seeker is not ready, and you go to a teacher, they say, okay, this is what happened almost 35, 38 years ago. I asked the master, he said, here is a mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. You have to do it 10 million times within a period of 3 months. So I have to plan, I have to organize, I have to do it for every day. It must be 2.5 hours. Then I can reach within 3 months 10 million times based on my own capacity. And it took me a year. So the masters said, oh, you have yet to become a seeker. In those days, I could not understand. So what happens when the mind is distracted in different directions? I do not plan, organize, and I do not practice. Even if I understand, it does not work. But after many years, when I reflected, I realized that my mind is constantly riding on a train of attachment, train of ego, anger, reaction, and we are proud of them. My ego says, no, if I do this, I will earn little more money, I'll be happy forever. It doesn't work. The point that I'm making is that we should analyze and reflect. Do I desire infinite peace and happiness? Yes, meditation or mindfulness is the way. Now, in order to get the infinite peace and happiness, am I chasing anything that is limited? So anything that is limited, that we perceive in the world. No, now is the time to retire. I will retire and then I will devote my time in meditation. It will not work. There is a subtle ego that continues to work. It takes hundreds of excuses and it will not work. That we need to understand clearly. Why? Then we will come to the main topic, why it happens. So when there are attachment, subtle ego is working deep inside, it derails my journey. How many shirts and the trousers we bought in the last 10 years, and every time mind said that, you will be very happy. We changed the car, we changed the house. Everything is limited. We are not seeking, we have to seek what is unlimited, what is infinite. And for that, we have to come back to the Eastern wisdom. Mind is in the state of emergency because we have tried seeking so many things that is limited, and still we did not reach to the permanent peace and happiness. Mind is in the state of emergency. We don't realize. It demands intensive care. We don't realize. We follow mechanical, habitual life in order to get it. Sadhana is a word used in Eastern wisdom. Sadhana means, practice or meditation practice, yoga practice, tantra practice. But it does not justify the word clearly when we simply say practice. So sadhana means negate and assert. One thing, I have to negate what I am not. What I am seeking, if it is limited, I have to negate where in my mind. And now it's a festival season. What we say, sale. I was reading day before yesterday that 92% of the sales are fake. They increase the price and then they say, oh, now 80%, 85% discount. And they gave some couple of examples. I'm not going there. So we have to negate what is fake. What causes me the delusion? In the mind, not outside. Negate in the mind. You wake up in the morning, oh, get ready, I have to go for buying lot of stuff, it is on sale. You see that. Follow that. Negate in the mind that this is not going to give me permanent peace and happiness. Go for it. Go for it. At the same time, we assert that I am peace and happiness. We have already understood that the real self is of the nature of infinite peace and happiness. And so I negate mentally in my head, in the knowledge, by the thought in the beginning, and gradually we can negate in the field of awareness. I believe you're getting it. What will happen? It makes me aware what I am not. I filter out what I am not. So when I filter out what I am not, this mind is clear. This mind becomes like, it becomes pure, and that reflects the real self. So I used to say that long back for the higher seekers who undergoes private lessons, By mistake, you see that by mistake, you eat salt, it feels salty. You eat sugar, it feels sweet. By mistake, you say, I am peace and happiness. I am permanent peace and happiness. That is independent of anything outside. And the subtle ego, the attachment, and the delusion in the mind tries to negate that I am peace and happiness. That is what is conditioning. That conditioning must go. Did you get it? Even by mistake, in times of stress and anxiety, you see anything, everything is okay. Mind, I know that you are giving me pain and stress, but fact is that my real nature is peace. That is what we communicate. Father gets a phone call. Your son died in an accident. Father starts crying in sorrow and suffering. After 15 minutes, he receives another call. No, no, it was a mistake. Name is the same, but it was not your son. Do you see what happens to the sorrow and the suffering? The mind lives in intense delusion that must go, and it will go only by negating. Negate what I am not. I suffer because of relationship. How many people die? So there comes what we were understanding, that we have to negate. I am not a waker. I am not a sleeper. I am not a dreamer. Waker, you are listening to me in a waking state. So the waking state means physical body, sense organ, mind, ego, and the intellect all are active in a waking state. So that is why we say it is the physical level. In the dream state, our subtle body is active. What is subtle body? Physical body is not active, sense organs are not active, I still exist. So the mind plays with the thoughts in the dreams and the images. So we are coming to closer, deeper. So we have three bodies: the physical body, subtle body, and the causal body. And the third body, when we are completely in sound and deep sleep, we are ignorant of everything. We are ignorant of stress, pleasure, attachment, delusion, etc., etc. So we say it is causal body. Cause, which, why it is causal body? That causal body is the cause of subtle body, means the dream state, and also the physical body. And beyond these three bodies, the real self is there. And that real self, if that real self is not present in the three bodies, we are known as dead. Cause of the physical and the subtle body is the causal body. We have a lot of past impressions that we will take up later, that this physical body, the physical birth, the age and the gender, the parents that we get, it all depends on the causal body. which is also known as ignorance. So I don't know anything about the word in deep sleep. It does not mean that I do not exist. A person in coma does not know where he is, but still he exists. So it means there is something that is different and separate from the waking state, dreaming state, and sleeping state. So when we live into that awareness, not searching permanent peace, not in what is limited. Waking state is also limited. Dream state is also limited. Sleep state is also limited. Can you remain awake 24 hours? Maybe for 1 or 2 days. It is limited. Can I dream for 24 hours? Can I dream? Can I sleep for 24 hours? So when we reflect on this, no, it is not possible. Maybe 24 hours. Now, I'm not saying with the drugs. Don't go there. They are limited. So anything that is limited cannot discover what is unlimited. That is why we have to negate it. So to negate it, I have to negate in the mind. You cannot do it physically. You cannot do it physically. You have to negate it. One more thing to understand. Do I experience stress in a sleep state? I'm in deep sleep, I'm ignorant. No stress, no problem, no suffering. It means that I is still present there, but that I do not identify with the stress and suffering that happens in the waking state. Hence, I have to negate that stress also with awareness, not by reaction. If you do it by reaction, it will lead you to another delusion and misunderstanding. Sometime I also used to experience an extreme headache. And I used to lie down. I said, okay, let me start looking for this, where from the pain originated. And there are a couple of practices like this, your headache disappears. That is the process of negation. So, waker, sleeper, and the dreamer, three mental states. I am different from these three mental states. Once you live into that awareness, not only you can manage bigger challenges of your life, but ultimately we can discover that permanent peace and happiness. So all our masters come down to one main question. Do I know the real self which is already there, which is present in a waker, dreamer, and sleep state? I don't know. So I don't know means that I'm ignorant. Ignorant means that I have a misunderstanding that I am a waker, I'm a sleeper, I'm the dreamer. So what do I need to remove the ignorance? I need knowledge. I need knowledge. And that is why the traditional wisdom says that you have to listen, you have to learn, you have to contemplate, you have to reflect, followed by the practice to reach to that state of awakening. So I'm adding the practice here, and gradually we will understand it is basically, fundamentally, is a non-practice. It is a non-practice. There are three houses. Is that house me? No. Waker state. This house is me? No. This house is me? No. Here I am. So you ask the mind to return from the limited perception. Ultimately, the mind merges into the real self and it awakens. Nothing, no practice is required. Knowledge is required. Knowledge means awareness and experience. Knowledge means awareness, knowledge, and experience all go together. Simple way to understand. I am ignorant about chemistry. What should I do? I should know chemistry. I don't know the real self. I should remove the ignorance of not knowing the real self to know it. That is why we say it is a non practice. It is a non practice. And that brings us to the basics. What is the basic? Mind has to be a seeker. We have to be a seeker of the highest order. That is why I started that mantra. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karva Vahete Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvisha. There should not be any jealousy and a conflict. Teachers should not have any conflict while passing on the knowledge. So the seeker should not have any conflict, the duality. They should have minimum level of comfort so that any unease and discomfort should not disturb during the learning. Sahana bhavatu, sahano bhunaktu. We should have a little higher level of energy. Energy here means I should listen attentively with awareness and attention. So all these goes down to one word. We use the word Mangalacharan and gratitude. I don't know. And I am aware of this. That awareness of not knowing brings the humility in our mind. And the humility opens. It helps us to raise our awareness, to live into that awareness. Okay, let me listen to you. You seem to be a beer guy, so yeah. Somebody was telling me, yeah. How old are you? I said 62. So how old are you? I asked him in Costco yesterday. I'm 72. And then he turned again. He said, how old are you? He looked smarter. He had all the black hairs. So, I said, don't tell anyone. He told me he was 72. I told him that I'm 78. Don't tell anyone. But normally I tell I'm 60. What is an ace? He was very happy. See, nothing to get attached with, how old are your body? Instantly. Do you have that level of awareness to change the track, to negate what I am not and do what I am? So in that state of the humility, uh, we live into that higher level of awareness. That is why we always follow our masters who are well versed with the teaching and the tradition. It opens our mind. Let us see how the non practice takes us there. Close your eyes. Let the time come, we will keep our eyes open also. So, eyes are